Welcome back to the last lecture in the lecture series on Python data types, and we have covered all the important data types in Python, which includes string, number, list, tuple. We had covered dictionary and file. So now that we have covered all the important data types, there is one more very important topic, which is a bit advanced topic, but it's very important topic to understand. The way the Python programming language handles the storage of data, right? So each language has its own way to do it. Python does it in its own way. So let's try to quickly understand in a very trivial way how it does it. Refer to this very simple assignment. What we are doing here is we are simply having a variable var1 and we are assigning a particular string value Python programming to it, right? So what does happen behind the hood, right? What actually gets done behind the hood? So first of all, we need to understand there are four concepts, right? One is the name. What is a name in Python? So whenever you are trying to create a variable, you are trying to give a particular name to that variable, right? The variable by itself doesn't have an existence, right? When I actually refer to the variable using that particular name we have given to it, then it makes a sense. It has an existence, right? So this is the name part of it. And when I talk about a name, when I give a name to a variable, it can be a alphanumeric, it can be an alphanumeric character given to the name. I mean, you can use alphanumeric characters. There are certain other restrictions. We will talk about it a little later, right? Now, say for example, we have created a variable with the name var1, right? And we have assigned a string type of data to it, right? What happens is it basically refers to a pointer. This name var1 refers to a pointer which points to a particular memory location. So object is nothing but, we have this next concept, object. We have talked a lot about objects, right? So what is an object? Object is basically nothing but a patch of memory. It's a basically a set of contiguous memory location, or rather contiguous locations in the memory, right? Now it is identifiable by a particular name, like here var1 is the name that we have given, right? Now, the next thing which is important, which we have talked already a lot about, is the type, the data type in Python, right? So whenever we are creating a variable, obviously it's associated with a data type, right? So this is another aspect. So we have name, we have the object, which is nothing but a patch of memory locations, and we have a data type. That's the third thing. When we combine the name to identify the object and the type of data, right? So basically when we have the name and the type combined, we give origin to this thing variable, which is the var1 in this case. Now say for example, I just keep assigning a new data, right? I had a string data Python programming in var1, right? Now I just assign a new data which is of type float to the same var1. What happens? Does it really change the data? It doesn't change the data. What it does is, wherever the string was there, the string value was kept in the memory space, it is going to be still there. This new value 45.09, it's going to be put into another new different memory location, a new physical memory location. It is going to keep this 45.09, and what will happen is this, now this var1, this name will now point to this new physical location, right? So what happens is the location where it is getting saved, this new data which is of type float, it is getting saved in a new physical memory location, and var1, this name now points to that location. So that is the subtle difference which is happening, right? So that brings a very important concept here, interesting also, right? So whenever you copy a particular, I mean, when you say you copy the content of variable 1 to variable 2, you may think that you are actually copying the data. Actually, that is not happening. It is actually copying the reference or the pointer, right? How does it, I mean, how can you, I mean, ensure that that is exactly what is happening? Just look at this very simple example. You can also run it in the code, right? So for example, if I just create a new variable var1, which is a list object, right? Now, I mean, list data type. Then I assign this var1 to var2, right? Now I print var1 and var2. So both of them are being printed and both of them are having the same content, right? Now what I do is I go to var1 and change the element 3, which is this one, right? ERR, I am changing to a new data which is meaningful, right? I am changing this element. What should happen if I just print this var1 and var2? If it is copying the data here, then in that case, var2 should remain the same because we are not copying back the data from var1 to var2. But what will happen is when you print them, you will see that both of them now have meaningful as the third element. So I have not reassigned the value of var1 to var2. How did it happen? This is because var2 was actually holding the reference, the same reference that var1 has, basically the same pointer, right? So when you are actually making change to var1, actually what you are doing is you are making change to particular memory location which is being pointed by the var1 variable, and the same thing, the same memory location var2 is also pointing. So that is why you are actually having the same data reflected by both the variables. Let's try the other way around. Let's try to tweak a element using the var2. So I again change the meaningful to more meaningful. Again, what should happen is only var2 should get changed. var1 should not change anything, right? But if you just print both of them, again you will see that var1 and var2 have the same data, right? That means again it has been re-established that var1 and var2, they actually signify a pointer, and the pointer points to a memory location. So when I'm copying var1 to var2, actually I am just assigning the same pointer or the same reference to var2. So they are pointing to the same set of memory locations or the same patch of memory locations, right? So this is a very, very key concept that you need to understand. Otherwise, you might commit critical errors and you will not be able to figure out what is going wrong in the code, right? Last but not the least is again very important. When you are trying to name a Python variable, there are certain things that you need to follow. First of all, you need to always start with the underscore or any alphabet. You should not start, you cannot start with a digit. Though it is, the name can be alphanumeric, you should always start by a underscore, which is this symbol, or with one of the digits like, sorry, one of the letters like A or B or whatever, right? That's one thing. You cannot use any other punctuation character other than the underscore, right? No other punctuation character is allowed in the name of a variable, right? Third thing, variables are case sensitive. So basically var1 and capital V var1, these are two different variable names. So you have to be very, very cautious. When you are trying to reference a particular variable with the name, you have to be case sensitive, right? When you are doing the programming. Fourth, and a very important thing, you should not use the reserved words as the name of the variables. That is not allowed in Python. And if you want to know what are the reserved words, I have given here the set of reserved words in Python: and, assert, break, else, from, sorry, this is not lambda, this is lambda. I am extremely sorry for this typo. This is lambda, right? So continue. So all these are reserved keywords in Python. So you cannot use one of these as the variable name. However, since Python is case sensitive, say for example, you can use a variable name like capital E, then you keep the remaining part same. This is allowed, and your interpreter will not throw any error. But however, obviously, it is very obvious to understand. I mean, this is not a very good naming convention for a variable, right? You will get confused. So you should not do a naming which is matching very closely with one of the reserved keywords, right? So that's not a good coding practice and not advisable. So these are some of the tips that I wanted to share about some intricacies related to the variable, the storage of the variable, the storage of the data, and variable naming conventions and the variable naming rules. Okay, so that is all related to the Python data types. I mean, when we come back, we will cover another very, very important topic for Python programming, which is the control structures, the loops, the different conditional blocks. Those are going to be covered in the next series of videos. So please stay tuned, and thanks for being patiently listening to the different videos. Thank you very much.